around the world.
You know, and this man was criticized at this moment as where I'm talking to him. He was being made fun of, that he wasn't capable of being president, that he was a laughing stock, that he was a movie star, that he did this or that or whatever, you know. And yet he's probably one of the greatest presidents, I think, anyway, that we've ever had.
That's right.
And he was tough.
Yes.
As well as the kindest man I think I've ever met. Kindest man. But I'll tell you what, he was strong. And he was just what America needed at that time. And, you know, I got so much I want to talk, but I want to get through this video today so we can see most of it. Let's go on and to this next part of my interview. Ronald Reagan, by the way, was 68 years old here, and I was 39 years old there. So let's go back to our interview.
Let's go back to the United States. If elected president, will your appointments reflect the entire population? When I talk about the entire population, I'm talking about our black citizens. And here in California, we have a great Spanish and Mexican-American population, and we're concerned about that. But my main concern in asking this question is a neglected group of people called the evangelical Christians in America. If elected president, will your appointments reflect the total population of the United States so we have representation in these different agencies?
Well, as governor of California, in those 8 years, I appointed more members of the minorities to executive and policy-making positions than all the previous governors of California put together. And as far as the evangelical Christians, I feel that the first requirement for public appointment is qualification for the job.
Yes.
But along with that, I find that with those qualifications, the moral fiber of an individual is very much a part of that qualification. Yes, my appointments will reflect everyone, and I would be more comfortable surrounded by people who believed in God.
I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am.
We are. We love it.
This is just like sitting with an old friend, but hearing back and hearing the words, right, word by word, and even the words that I'm asking him. I don't even know how it all could come together. And it's like, oh my, I've been saying the same thing that I said, you know, how many years ago, honey?
37.
37 years ago. I kept saying, you know, and wait till you see the end. And you will think, oh my Lord, we are in the same position where God was saying to America then, church, get up.
Yes.
And the church got up.
Yes.
And there was great Christian leaders like Pat Robertson and
James Robinson.
just so many of them.
Yes.
that came together. And I brought the ministers, and I think it was this night. I brought them to his house, to Ronald Reagan's house. Can you imagine? I'm just this dumb kid. I mean, you know what? I'm a young evangelist. And inventing television with Pat Robertson, going through all this and not knowing really what I was doing. And then I'm sitting here. This is my first time politically and involved with any, you know, but, and God pushed me into the arena to be there with this man. And the reason this tape was held to this moment in history, and that yes, Ronald Reagan, honestly, he was everything that he confessed to be. He was a great man. He really, really was. I mean, there was greatness inborn in him, I think. He's just called by God. And then Donald Trump, almost everything that we went through the last 6 months, it's the same situation.
Right.
And people
Totally
trying to
parallels.
smear a man who God called,
Yes. That's right.
you know? You wait till you hear what Ronald Reagan says in a few minutes. Let's go back to the interview. Did you want to comment anymore?
Just one quick thing.
Yeah, because you're my guest today. You know that.
You
and Ronald Reagan.
Well, you got the historian.
That's right.
I'm
Yeah.
just a historian.
I just want you to be able to put on your resume that you were on the same bill
Said
with
it's
Ronald
Reagan
Reagan.
and Robin.
And of
Yes.
course, Robin.
Yes.
Yeah.
The new
Yes.
toast of the town, right?
Absolutely. I was with you about 6 or 7 weeks ago, and you recall I had some personal reservations about Donald Trump. But in my own defense, I'll confess, I pray that when he wins, he surrounds himself with the right people.
Yes.
The best and the brightest.
Yes.
Isn't that what Ronald Reagan just said?
Yes.
He said,
And that's what
surround
he
myself
did.
with people who he can trust. I'm seeing the resume of the people, and notice how every single person Trump announces right away, the mainstream media and the left, Sessions, didn't he make a racist comment in 1986?
Oh, my
Sessions did
goodness.
more to heal the racial divide in Alabama than just about anybody.
That's right.
We are seeing person after person who's coming onto that team who are the best and the brightest. That's the genius of Ronald Reagan. He did the same thing.
Yes, he did.
The key is what Donald Trump is saying. Wouldn't it be novel to hire somebody that knows what they're doing?
Mhm. That's right.
Wouldn't it be novel to hire somebody
I love
that could save money,
it. Yes.
that could understand how to run a business?
Yes.
We had a candidate who survived the bureaucratic business environment in New York City to help transform New York City. Those of you who might remember
That's
New York
right.
City of the 1970s, 1980s,
Oh, yeah.
where it was a cesspool.
It was.
And then the redevelopment we saw launched under Giuliani and also under Trump,
That's right.
redeveloping vast areas in New York City.
That's right.
That's the type of people I want running this country.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And that's exactly right. If you've ever visited New York City in the 70s and the 80s,
was
which we
terrifying.
did several times, terrifying.
Yes.
It was horrible. And Donald Trump would just look out his window and said, "We're gonna rebuild that. We're gonna fix that." I mean, he did it.
Yeah.
And how did he do it? He did it under budget and ahead of schedule. I mean, this is what it's exciting what we have ahead of us.
Yeah.
But let's get back and see.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the secret of one of the things that he did. When they for years could not fix the ice skating rink.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Again,
Do you
we're
know
thinking
that
the same
story?
thing. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and the beautiful big ring,
Yes.
the
Rockefeller
coils
Center.
and all, they didn't work. They wouldn't work.
Sasha, you skated on that rink.
And they spent probably hundreds of thousands of dollars working on it and couldn't get it done. And so Donald Trump said, we'll fix it. And, he didn't get his toolkit and go out there and fix that motor. I'll guarantee you, he didn't fix all those pipes and stuff himself. But he brought in the best. I think he even brought some people in from, I don't know, Canada or somewhere. Didn't he? Wasn't it?
Yeah, one of the top designers in the world.
And, and brought him
And brought him in
in.
under budget.
And he brought it in, fixed the beautiful landmark of New York, fixed it fast. That's what I like.
Right.
I like it done tomorrow or yesterday. But fixed it fast and under the budget.
Right.
Under budget.
How novel.
And you know what? I'm going to say something. He's built a hotel in
In Washington,
D.C.
Just down the street from the White House.
Brought it
Yes.
in under budget, brought it in quicker than the schedules,
Yes. Yes.
And do you know what the Democrats are worried about? They're more worried about the president owning that hotel than they are about what are the poor people in this country going to do? How are we going to save America? And you know what? I don't think the American people care. He had Trump business, Trump before. I'm not worried about it. They're all worried about, well, he's going to cheat. Well, that's because all of them over the years have cheated. That's why. Trump doesn't need to cheat. He's got so much money, he doesn't need to cheat.
No.
But they're trying to put all the blockage up And there's got to be something you can work out with that. I think he ought to be able to put his all of his holdings somewhere and have his family do it. And when he gets up, when he leaves the presidency, I think he should be able to go back. And I'll guarantee you he's going to be more than generous in what he does. But we're worried about something that is going to be only a roadblock instead of a help. You got a man who knows how to fix things. Let him fix it. He can go in and take a city. I'll tell you what, I've said it before and I'd say it again. I would have given him, 4 years ago, I would have given him Detroit, downtown, where all I just said, all the empty buildings, I said, let's get this together. We're going to turn it over to Trump. And we're going to test him to see if we want him to be our president or not. He's got 4 years to repair this mess. And I tell you, anybody that could do it would take a miracle to do downtown. Look at it. My Detroit, I grew up in Michigan, Muskegon, Michigan, across the state, and I'd go to Detroit for the great times of our life. Look at it.
Horrible.
Look at it.
Horrible.
The whole town almost, so much of it. I'll tell you, look at a theater. That's insanely evil to let anything deteriorate like that. Yeah. I'd give it away and get people to, there's Elvis before. In that theater. It can be fixed. Yes. Detroit can shine again. Yes. Detroit can make cars again. Yes. Yes. And forgive me, but I know, is it too late for America? It's only too late if the people of America stop believing.
A good businessman knows when to sign a contract and when not to sign a contract. I wish we had Donald Trump or Ronald Reagan 5 years ago when somebody comes into his office smiling like this and saying, you don't have time to read it, just sign it.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
He would have taken Obamacare and
right.
shredded it.
We will be right back after this special message.